Okay, so the meeting is now being recorded, I believe. Yes. Okay, so it is 5:12 on April 15th, 2020. This is the meeting of the Freetown Finance Committee. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, GL 30A Section 19, and the Governor's March 15th, 2020 order, imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting of the Freetown Finance Committee is being conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort is being made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in the order. A reminder that persons who would like to view this meeting while in progress may do so by accessing the meeting themselves. Instructions can be found on the meeting posting on freetownma.gov, accessible from the Minutes and Agendas section. A recording of this meeting will be posted to the town's YouTube channel as soon as we are able. Okay, members present are Gary Martin, Katie Calheta, Craig Rosen, Carol Waldorf, and Christine Dubras. Am I pronouncing that right, Christine?
You are, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a guest, we have Kent Wilkins, and we have Katrina Gonsalves as our clerk. Okay, so let's see. I guess the first item on the agenda is the minutes of the February 12th meeting. Those of you who were present are myself, Katie, Carol, and Craig. Kent, who was present, is no longer a member, and Christine was present and now is a member, but I think probably shouldn't vote on the minutes, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Motion. Second.
Okay, we have a motion made and seconded to approve the minutes from February 12th. We'll do a roll call vote. Katrina will call the roll.
Okay, Gary?
Aye.
Christine? You're abstaining.
Yeah, I'm not voting yet.
Yeah. Katie?
Aye.
Craig?
Aye.
Kent, you're abstaining.
He's no longer a member.
I am no longer a member. I cannot vote.
Okay. And Carol?
Aye.
Not sure what happened. Oh, Carol, are you there?
I think she has it on mute.
Oh, I just unmuted her.
Okay.
If she's on a phone, she might have to hit *6.
Well, I just unmuted.
It's still
no,
showing as
Can you
mute.
hear me now?
Okay, I just unmuted her. Nope.
Okay.
Keep unmuting each other. Okay.
I
That should be
said
okay.
aye.
I don't know who the last person is, the 864 number. Who is that?
Is that Bob? Bob? Who's calling in from 508-644-2887? Is that Bob?
That's Bob.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, Bob, well, you're abstaining because you weren't at the last meeting.
we're voting on the minutes.
Okay.
Uh,
I abstain.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, I'm going to put your name in place of your phone number. Okay. So let's see. So we've approved the minutes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to close that. Okay, so the next item is transfers. I guess the first one we can deal with is our own. On March 3rd, we requested a transfer of $800 from the reserve fund to the finance committee to pay Katrina for her services with the meetings. The selectmen have approved this. So do we have any discussion of it?
I'll make a motion, we approve it.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, who seconded it?
Carol.
Katie.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. Okay, so I guess Katrina can call the roll.
Gary,
Aye.
Christine,
Aye.
Katie,
Aye.
Craig,
Aye.
Carol,
Aye.
and Bob.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, motion carries. The next transfer is dated February 26th, 2020, from the Highway Department, requesting $250 from the reserve fund to pay overtime for Highway Department employees. The selectmen approved it on March 9th. Is there discussion of this?
I didn't get the number, Gary. How much was it?
$250.
I'll make a motion, we pay that.
Okay, do we have a second?
Carol.
Second.
Okay, we have a second. So Katrina can call the roll.
Gary,
Aye.
Christine,
Aye.
Katie,
Aye.
Craig,
Aye.
Carol,
Aye.
and Bob.
Aye.
Okay, so
Motion
that's
carries.
approved. And now we come to the big one. Okay, so the request is from the town manager, David DeMonch, dated March 12th, 2020. The department is legal and they're requesting $16,408.46 from the reserve fund to pay legal fees. The present balance in the account is $57,311.59. And the new balance in the account after the proposed transfer would be $73,720.05.
You're breaking up, Gary.
Oh, sorry. The new balance would be $73,720.05. The reason is that legal bills have been higher than expected in fiscal year 2020, and the expenditure is extraordinary and or unforeseen because legal bills have been higher than expected. With various legal matters still outstanding and 3 town meetings still to be billed, we think the remaining bills will come in around the monthly average, if not slightly higher. The amount requested represents the average legal bill so far in fiscal year 20 multiplied by 5 for the number of bills yet to be received, with an additional 5,000 added to potentially avoid another transfer.
Actually, I'll make a motion that we don't pay this until we see the bills. When we see the bills.
Yeah, I sent you the bills last night, or actually yesterday during the day, I think it was.
Gary, you're breaking up.
Yeah. I emailed the bills to everybody yesterday.
Oh, I didn't get them.
Did anybody else not get it?
I didn't get those,
Carol.
Gary.
I didn't get them either.
My.
Carol didn't get them.
Oh, geez.
Mine just said PDF on them, and I couldn't get into it.
Oh, that's why.
Okay.
I do have them. I can open it now.
Yeah. It's the fourth attachment to the email that I sent yesterday at 10.
Well, regardless, we don't pay estimated bills.
Yeah.
When they have a bill, we pay it.
Yeah. Let me go through the correspondence I had with Kim, or actually, it's mostly correspondence between Kim and Allie. So I sent Kim a message saying that a finance committee member has asked me to obtain the bills for legal fees in advance of our meeting Wednesday, at which we are scheduled to vote on the transfer request. Can you forward them to me, please? So Kim's response was...
Actually, I can't understand what you're saying, Gary.
Okay. Is it because it's distorting, or?
I don't know. I can understand everybody else very clearly. You're the only one I can't understand.
Is anybody else?
You break up in between sentences.
Is anybody else having that problem with my vocal?
I'm getting that from you.
Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
I'm getting it.
too.
With as well.
There's
You
some
think-
kind of an echo going on, Gary. I would think it's on your end, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Does it help if I speak more quietly?
It's saying that your
No.
network bandwidth is low. I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
That what is
Your network bandwidth.
my network bandwidth,
Yeah.
or?
So when you
Yeah,
pop up,
it's because you're not on the G4, you're on the low internet 3 or
Yeah.
whatever you have.
Yeah, I have a Verizon DSL, which is problematic. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure what I can do about that. Well, anyway, maybe I should just summarize the correspondence. So Allie says that she thinks the legal bills will not be as much as David is suggesting, partly because the courts are not active and the lawsuits that are currently in progress are on hold. So she thinks that the money in the account will be enough.
Okay, so we don't have to vote on this transfer.
So are they withdrawing it?
No. Well, I haven't spoken to David, so I don't know what they plan to do, but I think certainly if we don't approve it, then if they run out of money, they'll have to come back to us at the end of the year, which is
Well,
fine.
again, what's the problem?
That's fine
that's
with
what
me.
they should do.
Yes.
They still have money in the account.
Disagree.
What?
Again, we don't pay estimated bills unless we just don't pay estimated bills.
Yeah.
That's not how it works for the reserve fund.
Yeah.
You show us the bill, we show you the money.
Mhm.
Okay. Are there any other comments on that?
I
And
agree.
they still have money in the account anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have a grace period after the 30th in order to get all of that stuff straightened out in case there's any residual bills, which there are every single year.
Yeah. Okay. Did we have a second on the motion?
Second.
Okay. Motion made and seconded to not approve this. Are we ready to vote?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gary,
Aye.
Christine,
Aye.
Katie,
Aye.
Craig,
Aye.
Carol,
Aye.
and Bob.
Aye.
Motion
Okay.
carries.
Motion carries. The transfer is not approved. So let's see. The other thing we need to do is ordinarily transfer requests need to be signed by everybody. But since we can't do that remotely, I think the best thing to do would be to have a motion to give me permission to sign for everyone. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Do we have
I'll
a
second.
Okay. Katrina?
Gary,
Aye.
Christine,
Aye.
Katie,
Aye.
Craig,
Aye.
Carol,
Aye.
and Bob.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Let's see, is there anything else we need to do? I don't-
Salary for,
We need to talk about the budget a little bit here.
what about the salary? Did you call the salary for Katrina?
Yes, we did
Or
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the budget is not on our agenda for today, and we don't know what the selectmen and town administrator are doing. So I'm not sure we really have any.
I don't really care about that. Well, it's not like we can discuss anything that has to do with town finances. We don't absolutely have to have it on an agenda.
Wouldn't that be considered new business?
Yeah, I don't know whether that's okay in terms of the open meeting law to discuss.
I just can't see where it would be a problem, Gary. Anyway, let's not talk about specifics. I mean, I'm just talking in general terms. You know, my feeling is that we should level fund the budget for the entire town. That means every department, every employee. I don't think anybody knows where the bottom of this virus thing is going.
Yeah.
Especially economically, you don't know what twists and turns are going to come up with the state, and that's my worry. My worry is the state that we pass a budget or with increases or whatever, and then the state comes back 3 months later and says, "Hey, we don't have the money, and we're going to have to short this and short that, and then we're going to have to make up the difference." That would be a huge problem.
There will be some loss in state aid.
Oh, it's going to be huge. These ripples are going to go on for a long time here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, I'm just putting this out there for consideration. I don't think that, you know, as far as I'm concerned, there shouldn't be any question in anybody's mind that we're going to take a hit economically. How much is anybody's guess? Nobody knows where the bottom is. So,
I think the town's going to take a hit even at level funding.
Oh, I think so too. Absolutely. But again, you know, if you start talking about negative numbers, which I'm happy to do, you know, but again, you know, if you start talking about negative numbers, you have to have some indice as to where those numbers are going to wind up and make a compromise as far as percentage is concerned. But at this particular point, I can't see how it would be even possible not to take a hit. Even, you know, even for collection of taxes in a timely manner, because everything's being extended. So I don't know where that's going either. I don't know what the state or the federal government has in mind there. God only knows what's going on there. But that's just my thought process at this particular point. I'm not making a motion for any of this stuff. I'm putting it out there so we can consider this when we're looking at the budget, when we finally get the budget, if we finally get a budget, and make a decision as far as what our decision is concerned. Our decision doesn't have anything to do with anybody else's decision.
You think the selectmen are taking a second look at it now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are.
You think the selectmen are taking a second look at it?
I think they are.
Yeah, we're doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed in the selectmen's meetings that they're doing a lot of executive sessions dealing with union negotiations. So they may be talking to the unions about possible cuts. I really don't, of course, I don't know what's in an executive session.
Right.
Well, again, Gary, moving forward, one of the things that I've complained about bitterly in the past is that the finance committee isn't represented for any of these negotiations, and that was supposed to be a priority at some particular point. Well, actually, 2 years ago, but that hasn't come to fruition. And as long as they can keep us out of it, I'm sure it will. But we really need to get in there. We really need to, at some particular point, we really need to get into the negotiations to find out what's going on, because anybody can tell that percentage, especially with the bigger budgets, is unsustainable. It just can't do it.
Yeah.
We do have extra money coming into the town from certain sources, but at some particular point, very shortly, those sources are going to dry up. And when that happens, it's going to be putting us into negative numbers. I don't know where anybody else thinks that the money's going to be coming from, but I'm very, very afraid that we're not going to get the matching funds that we normally get automatically through matching funds and grants, circuit breaker, yada, yada, yada for the schools. I'm not sure that that's going to come to fruition this year. And if it doesn't, we're going to have to make up the difference if we get into a contractual situation. So I think I'd be very careful about any increases in any of the budgets going forward as far as the fiscal 21 is. But that's my thought process. Like I said, I'm just putting it out there so everybody can consider it.
Okay. Yeah, I have a question, Christine. In Rentham, do you know if the Finance Committee is involved in any union negotiations?
They are not.
They're not.
They were not in Foxborough either.
Okay.
Never have been.
So yeah, I'm just wondering then about Bob's suggestion that we be involved, whether it's something that finance committees generally do or are even allowed to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that.
Yeah.
Well, technically speaking, any financial decisions that are made in the town, we can comment on and we can advise on. Obviously, we don't have any teeth to start taking money away from people or giving them money. But as far as that's concerned, you have to be in the negotiations in order to give an opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
I've been over this point a couple of times with some people up in Boston, and they feel the same way. So, and I don't know about other finance committees. I'm sure that there are other towns where the finance committees are involved in contract negotiations, but the finance committee itself does not have the ability to approve or disapprove anything, actually. Except the reserve fund.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. So are there any other comments?
I kind of wanted to ask if Katie knows or has any indication of the schools coming up short because of this state budget stuff.
No, we haven't had any meetings. The last meeting
Okay.
that was canceled. I'm still waiting to hear more.
They're still talking about it at state level.
Yeah, I'm sure no decisions have been made yet.
There was a meeting
Yeah, no,
the other day. I don't know what came out of it. I haven't heard anything on our end yet.
No.
okay.
I can't see where it's possible not to come out short on this. I really don't.
I'm just thinking how big a hit is the school going to cost us too, potentially.
Well, that's what I mean. You don't want to go down. I mean, you really don't want to go too low. I mean, if somebody said we're definitely going to take a 5% hit, well, you start looking at 5% off of level funding, and that's a different kind of a number.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, when you start looking at level funding, we're going back to last year. Now, let's take into consideration for the last 2 years, they've gotten an 8% increase in the last 2 years, not counting this next fiscal budget. So it's not like they were in negative numbers for the last 2 years. They've gotten an increase. Well, I've been on a finance committee 21 years. I've never known the schools not to get an increase. So
true.
And so I don't know what I don't know what their I don't know what their budget is exactly because I haven't seen their budget, but.
You know, I'm thinking that the school department, for example, is going to have to resubmit and recalculate. They know what's coming.
Yeah, and I hope that most of the unions in town would have the same would have the same appreciation for the taxpayers.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about hard times. I mean, it's a possibility here that things could get a lot worse before they get better. I hope they don't, and I'm sure everybody prays they don't. But there is that possibility. And if it does, and it becomes an economic problem, you know, then everybody's going to be in the same boat here. So, my way of thinking actually at this particular point is at level funding. You know, you're looking at last year's numbers, which makes it pretty easy as far as the budget is concerned. But still, you don't know what the revenue side is going to be. I mean, I can guarantee you that the lottery's not doing gangbusters. People are very afraid.
Lottery got hit big on this because nobody's going out. There
you go. I mean, there's a lot of ramifications from this. The ripples are going to be going on for a long time. So I think I'm just, like I said, I'm putting this out there, that we could be fairly cautious. And I'd really like to know what the school's numbers are looking like. But we don't have those numbers.
No, but
Katie says she hasn't been to a meeting in a couple of months, and
been canceled the most recent meeting. I don't have numbers to provide.
No, I'm just saying. Well, maybe it might be possible to get a hold of the superintendent's office and see if we can't get some numbers out of those guys.
Yeah, they may very well be in the midst of revising them. I can ask.
Well, again, any numbers would be good numbers for us to work with.
I
something
think
to work with.
A nice way to ask is, we're assuming you're revising your original budget.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just to give them a heads up, kind of in a nice way.
Yeah.
Or you could just ask them how much less they're willing to take.
Yeah. I mean, I can also ask David what's going on. They may already be in negotiations with the selectmen.
Well, we're flying blind here without numbers, so.
Yeah.
True.
It's actually kind of a moot point without the numbers.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's flying blind at this point.
No, I understand. Yeah. But I don't think anybody realistically and logically can say that they don't think that we're going to take a hit here.
Yeah, no.
On all kinds of different levels and all kinds of different places. I mean, most people are taking a hit personally.
Yeah.
A lot of people are, yes.
Huh?
I say a lot of people are taking a personal hit, yes.
Absolutely. You got 31% of the country is living paycheck to paycheck. I don't know what those people are doing for money, but I'm sure they're stretching right now. I mean, credit cards are probably flying around and all kinds of other stuff. But at some particular point, that's going to come to a halt too. They're not going to be able to sustain that level.
True.
Well, why don't we see if we can make some inroads into getting some numbers.
Yeah.
Maybe, like I said, give the superintendent's office a call and see if they have anything to offer, or what date they would have, considering on February 1st they're supposed to have their entire budget presented to us.
Yeah.
That's actually a town bylaw.
Which hasn't happened since when?
I don't know. I've been on a finance committee 21 years. It hasn't happened since I've been on the finance committee. But again, but actually, I'm lying about that. There was actually 2 years where we did have those numbers, to be honest with you.
I don't know how that
those
happened,
were the years where we were going to cut. We were going to have to cut half of the town in order to keep.
Right. Yeah. Okay. We had some very lean years. Yes, and that was before I was on. So.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if they were looking for an additional $1 million this year. That was a preliminary budget. Obviously, they're going to have to cut. And I don't know where Lakeville stands. I mean, they're going to have the same problems we've got, so they're not going to be able to sustain their share.
Yeah. Might be a good idea to get a hold of the chair of the finance committee over in Lakeville and have a conversation with him, see what he's thinking.
Is that Fred that's the chair now over there?
I have no idea who the chair is over there. They seem to
I didn't
change
know.
very regularly.
The chair, but I could be wrong.
Don't know. Actually, I don't know.
He was doing the regional finance deal, and I don't know. Just as a thought.
Well, I'm just saying. You know, we're looking for information. Yeah. Let's look in all the right places. Let's look at the superintendent's office, and then call up. Maybe it's possible they may have some numbers to work with. You know, I mean, we're not looking for anything written in stone, but you know, we're looking for an indice as to, you know, what the thought process is.
They probably won't know about any cuts until like everybody does, because the state at this point I don't think knows how bad they're going to get hit.
No.
That's my thoughts there, but
yeah, they haven't even been in session in a month.
Yeah, well, that's why things aren't screwed up. But the thing about it is, when you really, if you want to put a number on it, you could put a number on it and always come back with more money later. You know, you can have a special town meeting to fund. We can do that any time we want. We have options as far as the town is concerned. As far as the funding is concerned, the problem we have is that we're in there with Lakeville, and we have to coordinate with them.
Yeah. So I just looked. Sorry, I just looked up the chair of Lakeville Finance Committee. It's George Vlahopoulos.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I think when this.
Did you say Yankopoulos?
Vlahopoulos.
Oh.
VLAH.
Okay.
So
I never got his last name right. I just.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when this all shakes out, regardless of what the actual numbers are, I'm pretty sure we're going to be in a better financial position than Lakeville is, because we've got Amazon and Stop and Shop and American and they have virtually
and a police station to pay for.
And a $20 million police station.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we're all in the same boat.
And you don't know what the federal government is going to allow corporations like those guys to defer. They might say, okay, you guys are, you know, we know you're hurting, so you can defer your this or defer that. They might actually defer, you know, tax revenues. You don't know what the federal government's going to decide on that. Yeah. So that's always a possibility. I suspect distinct, but you know, and it's not real, but it's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to. I think we got to be fairly cautious here. You know, when we start babying.
That's for future consideration when we get into actual budget numbers, or I should say when you do. But
yeah. Well. Like
and that may come to some of the articles. Some people looking for stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hate to say it, but you know that's going to be a factor of life, I'm afraid.
No, there's no question about it. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
food for thought.
Yeah.
Why don't we gather some numbers and get back together?
Okay. We'll try to do that. Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Carol?
Do you think we need to do a roll call vote for a motion to adjourn?
No.
I think I would recommend to make it official. That way nobody can question it.
Okay.
Okay. Gary?
Aye.
Christine?
Aye.
Katie?
Aye.
Craig?
Aye.
Carol?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Okay. I guess we're adjourned. Until
All
next
right.
time,
Okay.
everybody stay safe. Wear your mask. Stay home. And
Okie dokie.
Okay.
be
Take
well.
Thank
care.
you.
Best
Bye.
we can.
Okay.